to go. Okay, hi everybody. Welcome once again to our bi-weekly connection cultural event with CASA Español. This has been amazing to have these cultural afternoons with all of you guys, showing so much talent, so much culture and traditions here from our local artists. Today is a special day, Cinco de Mayo. I want to say thank you for Casa Español, of course, for hosting all these amazing events. And today, especially Cinco de Mayo, for El Consulado de Mexico here in Sacramento, they'll be supporting this event with Casa Español that, remember, is a language school here in Sacramento, California, that offers Spanish classes for adults and kids. Now, of course, during pandemic, they can offer the classes for yourself virtually. So if you want to know more, go to casadeespañol.org. So thank you for Consulado de Mexico in Sacramento for supporting all this. Of course, if you need support, if you want to have more information on what's going on, resources during this pandemic, please don't hesitate to visit the consulate webpage here in Sacramento, so you have all the resources that you could possibly need. So that said, we have today in Cinco de Mayo a very, very, very amazing guest here with me. I'm so proud to be able to interview herself today. This is Dinorah. Welcome,
hello.
Dinorah.
Hello, how are you, Dani? It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, it's totally my pleasure to be able to talk to you today. It's a very special day because we're going to discuss today La Mujer Mariachi. So I'm pretty sure that all of you guys have heard about Dinorah. You have heard her voice, listened to that amazing tone of voice that you can definitely feel the goosebumps every time that she ever sing. We can hear her in very many venues here in Sacramento and all over Northern California, and also in the south of California, in Mexico. She is the responsible of so many joy, Mexican culture and tradition, and of course the amazing events. She is the creator of El Festival del Mariachi here in Sacramento, that I'm pretty sure many of you have been a part of this festival. So Dinorah, welcome.
Thank you.
You are one of the most powerful, iconic Mexican singers. She is from Mexico City, and she lives here in Sacramento, and she has 3 Sammys Awards. That is the awards that prizes the most amazing artists here locally. So we want to know everything about you, Dinorah. We want to know how you became a singer, a mariachi singer. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. Before everything else, happy Cinco de Mayo to you, Dani. It's a pleasure to see you, Mama. And happy Cinco de Mayo to everybody there that's watching this show. Well, I started in Mexico City as a singer when I was around 14 years old as a professional musician. Before that, as a child, I heard my parents singing and harmonizing. I listen music all the time, so it was not hard to fall in love with music as a child. I learned how to harmonize thanks to my parents that harmonize voices and listen beautiful music. I grew up in Mexico City and joined my first band, but no mariachi band. Actually was just like a regular band of music for weddings when I was 14 years old. But I knew how to play guitar since 9. So of course, mariachi music is living and is so vibrant in all Mexican homes. It's part of our culture, it's part of who we are. So yeah, I learned all these beautiful songs. And this is exactly how I started playing with other bands. With mariachis, I joined when I was around 18. I joined one of the mariachi bands in Mexico City, but they were all guys, no women, just guys. And since there's so many musicians in Mexico, they didn't need me as a guitarist. Guitar is my instrument. I am a guitarist. So I wanted to play my guitar with them, but they said, no, we don't need you to play, you just sing. So I said, okay, well, as long as they allowed me. But there were not too many singers back then, although there's of course women in mariachi music that has been making their way in this beautiful genre of music since 1903. That is when the first women joined the first band in Mexico. It's very interesting. Her name is Rosa Quirino, and it was 1903 when she joined as a musician, one of the bands. So
You know,
that's how it started.
like showing us about making us fall in love with mariachi music here in Sacramento through your voice, through your experience, through your lyrics and your songs, because you're also a songwriter and a singer. So, so we've been listening to mariachi with you for so long, and it's just amazing. We that just can't stop listening to you. Tell us what is the mariachi music, so we know a little bit more deeper about this culture and this tradition.
Okay, well, mariachi music is a genre of music, traditional or, very, very, very regional from Mexico. It is a mixture of styles. We have influences from France, like the waltzes. It is also indigenous. This combination came after the conquest of Mexico, after the Spaniards showed up in America. And the mariachi was created. Mariachi, there's many ideas of why the name, but mariachi is related to the act of performing music for weddings. That is what mariachi is. And so this is how it started. Mariachi bands were formed originally only with string instruments. That means violins and guitars. So this is what mariachi is. It's an ensemble of instruments that play regional traditional music, born in Mexico.
So now, since the beginning, since everything has started till now, have you seen any changes, you know, in the instruments, in the voices, in the songs, the lyrics they sing?
Correct. Yes, absolutely. This music has evolved in a very positive way, I say, because with the years, trumpets, that means instruments of wind, were introduced to the mariachi band. Also, they introduced instruments like harps, and also evolved in musically, because the original style was el sones, okay? You know, and probably most other people have heard the most traditional and representative son, el son de la negra. And that is the early music that they created. Eventually evolved into rancheras and guapangos and boleros, rancheros. So all these styles are still Mexican, but they differ in tempo and rhythm and from region as well. You know, from the north of Mexico, we have the rancheras. From the south of Mexico, we have the guapangos. And from the region of central Mexico, also influenced by the Cuban rhythms and Latin American, other Latin American rhythms, the most beautiful bolero ranchero.
So through the years, we have seen this fusion of different genres in mariachi. We will love to hear a little bit, so you can show us in your amazing voice one little few seconds of how was the mariachi back then, and you can show us a little bit fusion of what it is nowadays.
Well, I'm sure you have, I don't have the whole mariachi here, but at least I can play the El Son de la Negra, which is one of the most original ones. Negrita de mis pesares, ojos de papel volando, negrita de mis pesares, ojos de papel volando, a todos diles que sí, pero no les digas cuándo, así me dijiste a mí, por eso vivo penando. Son de la Negra.
Beautiful. That song, I have to say that in my country, every time that you are sleeping, like 2, 3 in the morning, probably after midnight, and you start listening to the instruments and that voice, because you're getting serenade in the window, and that's the song all the time it started.
Correct. One of the other evolutions is mariachis were first, most of all, to entertain people in weddings, right? Then evolved to serenades, and is when the bolero ranchero came over. And this is one of the most beautiful songs. Cuánto tiempo disfrutamos de este amor. Nuestras almas se acercaron tanto así que yo guardo tu sabor, pero tú llevas también sabor a mí. Right?
Oh my God, Dinorah, that song in your voice all the time. I'm never tired of hearing you. It's just deep in the skin, in the blood. You can feel it inside of the bones every time that you sing. It's just amazing tone of your voice. So that voice and that tone, we can just say, tell me, what is the influence that that woman voice has in the mariachi music? Like the women.
Before women joined mariachi bands, we were the muse for these singers and songwriters, right? So right then, women had already a big position, power position inside of the music of mariachi. Later, when finally women start, making their way, but of course, lyrics starts changing as well. The way that how we dress. Early it was in 1943, the first recognized all-female mariachi band was born in Mexico City. They were called Las Adelitas. And Las Adelitas didn't wear the typical mariachi outfit. They were wearing beautiful dresses, beautiful flowers in the hair, rebosos, very feminine. So they're already right there. They were pioneers, and they've been inspiring other women in the mariachi music to be women, just to act and enjoying being women in the mariachi music. But of course, we still play the mariachi, the traditional mariachi music.
And do you have there on top of your mind a few women that you can name that actually, inspired and they must be known as the connoisseurs?
Well, the connoisseurs, there's women that've been studying and researching about the history of women in mariachi, because I think it's very, very important, and they think so too. It is important to recognize the work of women in the mariachi world. Two of these most important women that I can have in the top of my head is, one of them is called Laura Sobrino. Laura Sobrino was one of the first female mariachi that joined one of the most powerful mariachi bands in Los Angeles, Los Camperos. And she, along with other few women, tried to make their way over there, because here, incredibly, even though there were female mariachi bands in Mexico and the United States, were not, that door was not open yet, but they did open it. So these women have been studying, they've been working, and they've been making sure that the rights of women in music are respected, and they allow us to be part of it. So Laura Sobrino and Doctora Leonor Xochitl Perez. Those are two pioneers of the studies on mariachi music.
I have to go and look more about them.
Yes, absolutely. Very, very interesting.
So, I'm pretty sure that you are an inspiration icon from so many singers that are starting this in this world of singing mariachi, of just being an inspiration, being passionate about music, the voice, the lyrics, poems, because all the lyrics are very poetic as well. So I'm sure you also had these mentors and inspirations that for yourself as well, for inspiring every time that you sing, these icons, iconic singers for you. Who do you think they are?
Wow, well, definitely, if there's 4 ladies that they are incredibly amazing in the history of mariachi music, is Lola Beltran, one of them. The other one is Lucha Villa. The other one is Maria de Lourdes and Amalia Mendoza. These 4 ladies changed and revolution the history and the course of Mexican mariachi music. Why? Because their powerful voices, their stage presence was so incredibly beautiful that people fell in love immediately. So mariachi could not be anymore there without the presence of women in music, right? these ladies were not musicians, but they were singers. They were very, very important singers. So for me, these four ladies were, and still, it will forever will be my inspiration. Beautiful music that they sang.
You can say it will be one song of one of the women that literally marked your life. That you
Okay. I can sing a little piece of each of these ladies if you want to hear them.
Great.
Yeah, that will be fantastic. Okay, Lola Beltrán. Vamos a empezar por Lola Beltrán. She's an incredible, she was fantastic. So here we go. Ya me canso de llorar y no amanece. Ya no sé si maldecirte o por ti rezar. Tengo miedo de buscarte y de encontrarte donde me aseguran tus amigos que te vas. Ahora es Paloma Negra, ¿verdad?
Oh my God. You
Now,
just spoke the song.
Thank you. Ahora, Lucha Villa. Un pedacito. Borrachita de tequila llevo siempre el alma mía para ver si se me cura de esta cruel melancolía. Ay, yo mejor me voy, pues que guardo aquí. Dice por la borrachera, dice todo lo perdí.
Oh, beautiful, Dinorah, beautiful interpretation.
Y bueno, pues la última que Amalia Mendoza.
Amalia Mendoza.
Amalia Mendoza, que cantaba boleros, unos boleros rancheros maravillosos. Sabes mejor que nadie que me fallaste, que lo que prometiste se te olvidó. Sabes a ciencia cierta que me engañaste, aunque nadie te amara igual que yo. Échame a mí la culpa de lo que pase, quítate tú la espalda con mi dolor, que allá en el otro mundo, en vez de infierno, encuentres gloria, y que una nube de tu memoria me borre a mí.
Wow. Those songs are one of my favorite. Those old lyrics are poem for the soul. I mean, and it's so dynamic, like all the mariachi music, because you can listening to it in a party, you can dance it, you can just sit and have a few tequilas or wine just to enjoy the lyric and the instrument with your amazing voice is just a perfect scenario.
Thank you, Daniela. In reality, I appreciate mariachi music so much, and that's why I do what I do, because, like you say, is a lot of variety of styles and rhythms, but everything is nice, everything is strong, everything is stories, of life. So that's why mariachi music is so beautiful.
And through your experience, what can you tell us? Have you had to overcome with any obstacles or overcome any of the situations being a woman in mariachi that you can,
Yes, of course. This is. Let's remember that this is a world of music dominated by men. So there are still many men that don't approve the presence of in the participation of women in music, mariachi music. When I moved from Mexico to the United States to live here, I joined my first mariachi band in Los Angeles, Las Adelitas, by the way. And with this gentleman, the owner of the band, I learned a lot, but I still felt like we were just working. We were not, we didn't have much opinion. And that's why I after a year, I left that band and created my own. Mariachi Las Alondras. And Mariachi Las Alondras was truly the first totally all female mariachi band in Los Angeles. And I'm telling you, this is 25 years ago. Okay,
Wow.
there were other two female mariachi bands in Los Angeles, but the directors are male. But in this one, the director was a female, and that was me. I created this band, and we had so much to do. We went to play in many festivals, and yeah, still we had that a little bit of a rejection for some male bands. Unfortunately, we were not respected enough, and this is one of the examples. But ultimately, we've been conquering the world in music, and little by little, we're moving up, showing the guys, showing the male mariachis that we can do this, and we love it, and we can be passionate as well.
Dino, now that you said that you created your mariachi band with a lot of amazing singers, artists, and musicians, how can you tell us how is the way that you could tell you have been mentor other mariachi women through all your career and experience there in Mexico and here in the United States?
Right. Well, this has been 25 years of my life in music, just here in the United States. Is when I totally could go into the mariachi world with success. And I am so incredibly proud of these girls that they were part of my mariachi band. Many of them started forming their own mariachi bands. I don't know if you have heard of Trio Ellas. One of them was my bass player. Mariachi Las Colibrí. She was the director, was also one of the violins of Las Alondras. Mariachi Divas, the Cindy Shea. See, that is a very interesting story. Cindy is an American girl, all American girl, and she used to play jazz. That was her thing. One day I ended up needing a trumpet player. So I said, I looked around and I asked one of my friends who was also a jazz player if he knew anybody that could play trumpet. And he told me, yes, I know a girl, but she's a white girl. And I said, you know what? Mariachi doesn't discriminate. We don't care. We just want good mariachis, good musicians. So I was introduced to Cindy, and Cindy in the beginning was not very, she didn't know what to make out of this. I don't think she has ever heard a mariachi band. So she was a little reluctant to accept, but eventually she did. My daughter and we sat together, showing her what is the mariachi music. And now she's been having mariachi divas, the Cindy Shea, for many years. Now she got Grammys also. They got Grammys and everything. So just imagine, yeah, making history. So those girls is fantastic. I teach in CASA ESPAñOL and also privately music and voice and guitar. All dentro de la mariachi music. So
that's amazing. Hearing that story that you just told us, how you inspire all these powerful women in music and mariachi. So have you, as you all guys seen Dinorah, you just heard a little bit of her music and her amazing voice. She can play all over Northern California, Sacramento, also internationally, Dinorah. Right now we know you are very recognized here for, and many of the mariachi bands that you just mentioned, you had the pleasure to brought us to Sacramento so we can, to listen to them as well. So you're working also in your projects here to continue promoting the Mexican traditional mariachi music. Tell us a little bit more about this festival, Mariachi Festival, and the projects that you're currently working on.
Correct. I started the Mariachi Festival de Sacramento in 2014. I came with this idea. I was a little surprised that in Sacramento was not featuring a festival for this kind of music. So important. We have so many Latinos and also so many people that enjoy mariachi music. So I decided to create one. I started it in 2014, and now 2020 would have been, our 6th or 7th year. But unfortunately for the COVID situation, we had to bring it all the way to 2021. in July. So we still have, you know, the talented musicians, they're gonna come and play. And yeah, it's been, for me, wonderful that after playing with these talented girls in the past, now they are bringing their bands to Sacramento and also to Fresno. We're doing it in both cities, Sacramento and Fresno. So it's growing.
So we look forward to the Mariachi Festival because it's huge. It lasts the whole day, and we can hear many, many bands of mixed bands, women bands, right, men bands. You bring Mariachi bands international from Mexico, to here, also from the southern part of the state. So it's literally a variety of music and talent here, just in one city for a whole day that we can all enjoy. Thank you for Dinorah, that she brings all this talent here so we can see ourselves with all this amazing. Dinorah, usually when COVID is not around, when those people can hear you, where do you usually play? In different restaurants or bars or festivals? Also, we know that people, if they want to have you in different venues, private venues, they can also hire you. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, well, all my information is Casa de Español, but you can find me in dinorahmusic.com. Dinorah spells DINORAH, then music.com. That is my website. Also, booking at dinorahmusic.com. That is my email. And of course, I am everywhere. I play for weddings, for anniversaries, for festivals, for fundraisings, for everything. You know, anything that has to do with culture and with doing something good for the community, I am there. So I'm so happy that the Casa de Español is doing this program, because it's very important that people know more about mariachi music, and especially women in mariachi music, which is kind of new, but not really. We have been there, and we will continue, looking forward more and more participation in mariachi music.
That's correct. Today is Cinco de Mayo. Today, I don't know, Dinorah, I feel inspired. I feel culture and tradition in my veins. I just want to feel Mexican for one day, listening to your voice. I don't want to miss the chance to be able to hear a whole song from your voice, a mariachi song, so we can start, warming up all the people that are about to celebrate the Cinco de Mayo today. They be in their homes, enjoying some tacos, probably a very nice tequila or beautiful beer there here. Right. So I would like you, just if you give me the pleasure to hear your voice one more time with an amazing song that probably you love to sing every time.
Absolutely. Well, let me tell you, I am a very, very proud Mexican. And every time I think about Mexico, that I have the fortune to go and visit, I always fall in love all over again. So I want to dedicate this beautiful song to Mexico and all the people around the world that miss being in our beautiful country. So to all my fellow Mexicans, and to my many, many friends from all over the world, including you from beautiful Colombia. Esto se llama México lindo y querido. Voz de la guitarra mía, al despertar la mañana, quiere cantar su alegría a mi tierra mexicana, y yo le canto a sus volcanes, a sus praderas y flores, que son como talismanes del amor de mis amores. México lindo y querido, si muero lejos de ti, que digan que estoy dormido y que me traigan aquí. Digan que estoy dormido y que me traigan aquí. México lindo y querido, si muero lejos de ti. Que me tienen en la sierra, al pie de los magueyales, y que me cubre esta tierra, que es cuna de hombres cabales. Voz de la guitarra mía, quiere cantar su alegría a mi tierra mexicana. México lindo y querido, si muero lejos de ti, que digan que estoy dormido y que me traigan aquí. Digan que estoy dormido y que me traigan aquí. México lindo y querido, si muero lejos de ti. ¡Uia! ¡Puro México, sí señor!
Yay, beautiful song, Dinorah. Thank you very much for giving us that present today, Cinco de Mayo. That's very, very inspiring.
Yes,
It gives us
ma'am.
a lot of joy, hope, peace in a situation like that, in a day like this that we all want to celebrate Mexico. I feel Mexico is my adoptive
That's
mother.
correct. Yes, yes, absolutely. Well, thank
So
you for having me. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Casa.
Yes, thank you for sharing with us all their experience and for being inspiration for so many people that are watching us right now that are really, really eager to be part of the mariachi community, to start singing, you know, to be part of this tradition.
Yes.
And of course, if you guys feel very eager to be part of the mariachi, Dinorah is more than open to help you out through all this path of becoming a mariachi singer.
Absolutely. Absolutely, I will be more than happy.
So, Dinorah, thank you for all that, sharing your experience, your amazing voice, sharing your talent. Hopefully we can be together, enjoying and celebrating life and mariachi culture and tradition together with you.
Absolutely, it will happen. It will happen. We just need to be a little patient and careful. That's all what we need to do, and stay strong and see the positive, and I don't know, you know, in every single aspect. But music is always good. So listen to music and you will see things differently. So thank you so much for having me over.
Thank you, Dino. And also, guys, Dinorah is supporting this cause here in Casa de Español, also Consulado de Mexico here in Sacramento, as I was telling you. Thank you to Casa de Español for hosting this event. And before we go, also we have a special announcement, and today from the ambassador of Mexico and United States. She's Marta Bárcenas. She want to give you a very special message for you all here in Cinco de Mayo. So let's hear this message.
Queridos paisanos y amigos de la comunidad mexicana, cada 5 de mayo conmemoramos el triunfo histórico del ejército mexicano sobre el ejército francés ocurrido en 1862 en la Batalla de Puebla. Esa victoria la encabezó el general Ignacio Zaragoza, quien nació en lo que hoy es Goliad, Texas. Con el tiempo, el orgullo que representa la Batalla de Puebla motivó a muchos activistas mexicoamericanos involucrados en la lucha por los derechos civiles aquí en Estados Unidos. Gracias a sus esfuerzos, hoy, el 5 de mayo, tiene un mayor significado. Celebrar las contribuciones de los mexicanos a este gran país y su resiliencia en tiempos de adversidad. El Estados Unidos de hoy, antes y después del COVID-19, no se explica sin la contribución de las comunidades latina y mexicana. Esta crisis demuestra que una gran parte de la fuerza laboral esencial que mantiene a los Estados Unidos es latina, es migrante y es mexicana. Los latinos, migrantes y mexicanos son los trabajadores de primera línea en hospitales y centros de salud, incluyendo a más de 29,000 Dreamers, así como supermercados, restaurantes, bancos de comida y otras instituciones claves para el funcionamiento del país. Los latinos, migrantes y mexicanos también son los trabajadores agrícolas que permiten que día a día haya comida en las mesas de los hogares de este país. Sin embargo, También son nuestras comunidades latina, migrante y mexicana quienes han sido más severamente afectadas por esta emergencia. Debemos mostrar unidad y empatía para que aquellos que han sido lastimados por los efectos de la pandemia puedan nuevamente retomar el camino y avanzar hacia la prosperidad. El 5 de mayo es la festividad latina más importante en Estados Unidos, sociedad que se caracteriza por su diversidad. Es esa diversidad a la que ha sido la fortaleza de este país para superar sus crisis y enfrentar las adversidades, luchar por los derechos civiles y mejorar los derechos laborales. Es en esta diversidad que se encuentra la fuerza que nos permitirá sobrellevar y superar esta emergencia. Hoy, más que nunca, celebremos con orgullo el 5 de mayo, latinos, inmigrantes y mexicanos. Feliz 5 de mayo a todos.
That was a beautiful message for Cinco de Mayo here, recognizing all the first responders that are Hispanic, Mexicans in the United States right now that are being the first responders in the front line now during the pandemic and COVID-19. So with this, we finish our Cinco de Mayo virtual connection with CASA Español. Don't forget, guys, that we'll see you again this Thursday. Next event that we're going to have coming, we have a very busy week. It's El Día de las Madres, that is also very important for us in Latin America. So this Thursday, we're going to have Chef Ramiro Larcon. He is one of the most amazing recognized Mexican cuisine chefs here in Sacramento area. He will be teaching us one of the recipes of an amazing Mexican plate flavor, so you can spoil and pamper your mother in Mother's Day with this recipe. So thank you, Dinorah, for being here today with us. Hope you have an amazing Cinco de Mayo celebration in your house with your loved ones.
Yes, thank you so much. Same for all of you.
Thank you for Casa de Español, and see you on Thursday, the next one. Bye.